Hi and welcome to Stakepool Radio. Today we have a lot of guests with us that have a lot of questions and confusing answers and logical answers about the phenomenal platform that we have observed that we know as Steemit. And Lutz, why don't you begin?
All right,
Are we recording already?
Oh yes, we're recording.
All right, so I'm looking at my wallet, right? And I got it says I got $756, right? And it says I got 210.495 Steam, right?
Yeah.
All right, so when I click on it, I got the option to power down, right? Now, when I think power down, I'm thinking a robot. It's going to power down. And then at the top, I got a tiny 2-bit 2.542 Steam, and it says I could power it up, right? I mean, how do you take it out? What does power down mean? What is power down? It's driving me nuts. I've been powering down all day.
Power down means to take it into the most fluid form, the fundamental unit of account, which is Steam. Steam you can move around. But it's kind of dangerous to hold Steam for a long time because it's subject to high inflation. If you hold it in Steam Power instead, meaning you have powered up your Steam, it's protected largely against inflation because you get a lot of the inflation. You get 9 of every time one Steam Power is created, you get 9. If you hold it in Steam Power. And Steam Power also gives you the advantage of you voting. So you can vote posts. The more Steam Power you have, the more upvotes you can give.
And why do I want to upvote? Does that mean I gotta sit there and read other people's stuff?
Yes.
Well, the incentive to upvote is basically to give great posts visibility. Also, if you vote on a post that becomes popular, you get paid for the curation. So there is incentive built in to curate the content and to make... Also, when you're a stakeholder in the system, you also benefit from having great content on the front page because it draws in new audience. And so it creates a demand for the Steam overall, and it increases the whole market cap of your holdings in Steam Power.
It's a great idea. It really is. I like it. Only problem is I make an article, and 2 seconds later, it's all the way at the bottom, covered up by 50 other articles. Who's going to sit there and actually read it? I mean, there's got to be a way of focusing on certain subjects. I mean, think about this. I go to the front page, right, and all I see is all these articles flying down. Right? And I just so happen to throw mine in there, and I get to watch it fly down also. I mean, who's gonna sit there and keep looking for interesting things? I mean, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of boring. I mean, is there a way to break it up into categories? Maybe some nice pictures, gardening and health, probiotics. You see what I'm saying? Bitcoin stuff here. Little pictures maybe. People respond good to pictures.
Well, yes, there is keywords attached to each post, and so you can basically click on the keywords and you get articles associated with that. But you can also, like on YouTube, follow your favorite people that create great content, so you get noticed when they show up. And also a third thing is that Steemit.com is one window into the Steemit blockchain. You can have different sites that are geared towards any one particular topic or country, for example, language. So you can have dedicated sites that compete on specializing in certain topics. So that's for the future.
Alright, so in order to find what I want, I have to go to the front page, right? And I see all these tags and topics on the right. That's the filter you're talking about.
Yes.
So, number 2, marijuana, right? I forget that one. So, it doesn't really say search. I mean, I see a lot of stuff. Anarchism, cryptocurrency, investments. I'm going to click on one. Let's see what happens. All right.
Break the site.
I clicked on one, not two. All right, so I clicked on. I forgot what I clicked on. And it says, "Don't follow me. I'm lost." Somebody made $8,828. That's crazy, dude. That's awesome. That's crazy. I mean, wouldn't it be better to put like a nice big search at the top, saying, "Search for the topic you're interested in"? I mean, I'm just thinking.
Well, there is a search function, but it uses Google's search engine, and so it shows you certain articles associated with your search.
All right, so let's type search here. I'm gonna put something interesting. All right, so I'm searching for sex. And so all these articles are from Steemit?
Well, they're all from individual users that has created an account on Steemit. And so you can find a very diverse range of topics. Right now we're in the initial phase of Steemit, so there's a lot of Steemit related posts and introduction posts. But there's great content, there's a lot of different articles.
You see this second one? 7 benefits of 6 years without sex. Holy Jesus, man.
Yeah, you can really find everything.
Oh my God, that is... Poor guy. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. They tell me he didn't masturbate once in 7 years.
Sex is actually one of the greatest things, one of the highest spiritual activities a human being can do. So I think he's on the wrong track, that guy. Staying away from sex, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's I don't believe it. You're telling me 7 years he didn't masturbate once? That's where's the sex guru? The love guru is here somewhere. Is that you, Mug?
Well, what do you mean, love guru?
Where's your article about love? If I type in love, do I find your articles?
Well, I haven't written anything about love yet, but yeah, I have some opinions on love. If you're interested.
Yo, I'm telling you, this guy, he totally blew me away before. I was like, holy Jesus. He's like the love psychologist.
Well, yeah, the fundamental thing is that to love is to value. You love a person for their virtues. So love is the emotional response to the virtues you identify in another person's character. And so, for example, a rational kind of romantic love is to love someone if they are honest, productive, if they're basically happy and pursuing life, then they are a huge value.
So, down in the chat here, Saint Nuke is asking if powering down your Steam into Steam dollars is good because this protects your Steam from inflation. Why would people buy Steam on an exchange? It is inflationary, so wouldn't buy it and turn it into Steam power also be worth less over time?
Well, it's true that Steam power is an inflationary, and so it loses value over time if adoption doesn't occur and the overall value of the system doesn't increase. So as an investor in Steam power, you have to offset that inflation about 10% by doing something. And if you can create great content, that's one way you will basically be rewarded. So you can gain an advantage over other Steam power holders. But not all Steam power holders will be able to offset that debasement by writing great content. So they have to sell their votes probably they will sell their votes to advertisers or something. So eventually we will see advertisers get on Steemit, and so that's a way to create revenue.
Saint Knut asks again here, if steam power becomes inflationary if adoption does not continue, wouldn't it be the opposite?
Well, when I say adoption, I mean people buying into Steam and thereby increasing the value of the market cap of the whole system. If that outpaces the inflation rate, so you have a net profit on holding Steam power, then all is good. But when the adoption starts to plateau, then you have to basically find other ways to offset that deflation or inflation.
But
So you're saying
anyway, the market will always find the right price in no matter what.
Yeah.
so people have to create content. They have to do something. You're saying?
No, they need to post links.
Well, they can create content or they can post whatever they like. But to get on the front page, you basically have to be voted up by all the Steam Power holders, and so they're basically all the shareholders are curators, and so it's a self-regulatory system where there is an incentive to upvote the great stuff.
Let's see here, we got Gray 580 is pointing to user Bernie Sanders and say that he has 1.6 million Steam power, and he is making $30 every time he upvotes.
Yeah, that's a whale.
Holy Jesus, man!
And we know from politics that we need to protect the whales.
Well, the whales do serve a purpose. They are really just great influencers, and so
They're thought fluencers.
yeah.
Hey, society works the same way, man. If it weren't for those rich people up there in those big corporations, a lot of people wouldn't have jobs.
In every society there is somebody that holds more than others. But why is it that there is so much hate towards people that have more than others?
Well, I have an opinion about that. If you have a lot, if it basically shows that you have been self-interested, you have been pursuing your self-interested and created a lot of value. And if you live in a society where altruism is the ideal, the moral ideal is that you sacrifice for others, that's the opposite of self-interest or selfishness. So people, many times, if they hold altruism as their moral ideal, will hate the strong, the people that are successful. So that's a hatred for the good for being the good. And that's very evil.
Somebody say that love for money is the root to all evil, but can the hate for money be the root to all good?
Well, money is just a tool, and so it serves the purpose of the person who holds it. To really define what's good and what's evil, you have to have a standard. And the standards that you as a human being should use is your life. Because all values presuppose life. And so life is your highest value. And so everything that promotes life is the good, everything that promotes death is evil.
So basically, when people act like they are frustrated because they are driven angry by this demon called jealousy, what's a proper way to react to that? I call it butthurt.
Well, it depends on the context, but I would say that if you don't really want to take a big discussion, just say you disagree. But just if they really want to listen, explain how life is the standard and the good is to act in your self-interest and to pursue happiness. I think most rational people, they will really understand that.
Seems to me that there is a lot more happy people on Steemit than there is on any other social media and crypto chats and Slack groups right now. Any opinion why?
Well,
They're all talking about girls holding up pieces of paper and how much money they're going to make on Steemit.
well, I would say that productive people are happy people. And if you get handsomely rewarded for your creative work, it also makes it you're able to support your life, and so it all goes together in harmony. You're productive, you get paid, so you are happy. That's why we see so many happy people on Steemit.
Babe, I said put the paper above your boobs. Oh, sorry guys, I gotta continue.
Let's see what else we got here in the chat here. Let me show. Saint Nuke asks, why would anyone ever buy Steam when they can upload content instead? Buying seems so risky. Isn't the only reason to buy is if you are a content creator and you want Steam power for your own posts? And if no one is buying, then the system needs to move to advertising soon. Any projections on how many users will need it to bring adequate advertising?
Well, I don't agree with the premise that, there is some incentives to hold Steam. If you think that the system overall is going to grow quickly, then there is an incentive to hold it, to speculate that it's going to increase in value, and sell it on when it rises. So yeah, what's the second part of the question?
Yes, and if no one is buying, then the system needs to move to advertising soon. Any projection on how many users will need it to bring adequate advertising?
Well, the system can grow a lot because it has the potential to have as many users as Facebook or YouTube or whatever. So there is a long time before it stops growing. And also, we're having new people come onto the internet all the time. So growth is not going to slow anytime soon. But advertising is always an option. I think there's no a lower limit for advertising. You can start whenever you want.
Yeah, if you run a company and you have a product, you can go as the company representative on Steemit and say, hello, we are from this company, we have this nice product I would like to present to you Steamers today. If you'd like to order it, you can go to my website and this is the URL and purchase it and buy with Bitcoin or credit card or Steemit or whatever it is that your website takes. If you like that. And as a company, you can also buy Steam and your own Steam power and boost your own posts up so more people will see it. That's a free option everybody has.
Is it beneficial to boost your own? I heard it's not a good idea to boost your own.
Yeah, you have to vote your own. That is a default first. Every time you create a new post, the default is to upvote your own post because you take part in that pool of reward as well.
I'd like to ask how the speed of growth reflects or is related to inflation. Because first, it was said that holding steam is somewhat risky and powering down protects against inflation. But then the comment was made that if you think the site's going to grow fast and there's some speculative aspect to it, you might want to hold steam to capitalize. So how does growing fast mean steam's going to stay the same? I thought it would be the opposite. The faster it grows, the more inflationary it becomes.
Well, we have to really make the terms clear here. The system is going to be subject to a 100% inflation all the time. But if the market cap is doubling every year on average, it basically offsets the disadvantage of this inflation. So if it doubles every year on average, you can hold steam without losing any value. But as it's looking right now, it's more than doubling in users and in adoption. So probably over the last few weeks we have seen, was it 1,000% growth or something crazy? So
20,000, 22,000 users since the 8,000 crypto miners, the original crew was there.
And the market cap has 10 doubled, risen by 10 times. So in that situation, it's very profitable to hold steam, and you can get out quickly on the top. And so, that's a good reason to hold steam.
Let me ask a question. Right off the bat, you said steam is 100% inflationary, and to be able to maintain your price of steam with inflation has to double. The market cap has to double every year. When you say it's 100% inflationary, what do you mean? Like, what does the metric of a year have to do with it?
Well, the coins are going to be doubled over the period of a year. So we're going to have twice as many steam.
I thought that the number of coins increased, and might be completely wrong, by the number of users. I thought as more users or more accounts are created, more coins are created. No, it's a predetermined ratio, so it's 100%. So it basically doubles, but it's continuously, right? So all the time, new money is created to pay the Steam power holders. That's the 90% of the new Steam goes to them, and 10% to the content creators. So for curation, for comments, and for posts.
Actually, it sounds really cool, man. I'm holding Steam power. I'm in it for the inflation.
Well, I want to look at something else, because I have transferred Steam and Steam dollars between exchanges and the Steam platform, and it is the fastest thing I ever been part of. It is so ultra fast. It's almost like real time. I press a button and boom, it's on exchange. Press another button and boom, it's on another exchange. And the Steam backed dollar is just simply lightning fast and so perfect for arbitrage purposes. When you need to move money around quickly, it just does that, and that is in itself, revolutionary.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think it builds on, what is the technology called from BitShares? They had developed a lightning fast transaction system that has a huge capacity compared to other blockchains.
Maybe noteworthy that Steam, it is not a clone from Bitcoin, or it originates from BitShares, which uses something called graphene.
Yeah, and it also worth to mention that it's a delegated proof of stake system. So it doesn't have the power costs of Bitcoin. It does have proof of work mining, but it's only every 20th block that it's mined using proof of work. The others are created by I think, the delegates.
So basically every 3 seconds there is a new block, and every 20 block is can we call that a reference block or a key block or something that the proof of work miner generates to make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be? Nobody had an answer for that, so we'll let that question lie for another time. Let's see if there is something else in the chat here. Doesn't look like we have any more questions about it. Gray is posting the rich list. Is that our current one? Can also take a look at the coin market cap, the old site.
All right, so if I wanna post something, right? I have to create a login first.
Yeah, exactly.
And then once I create a login, I could automatically just jump in there and start creating stuff?
Yes. They basically subsidize your account with, is it 5? Steam or something? And you need Steam in order to post. And you're basically buying bandwidth in the system. So all transactions are free. There's no transaction costs. And that's also a revolutionary innovation, because it basically makes it possible to create many more transactions.
Alright, so I'm new in here, right? And I'm looking on the right, and I don't like the law, and I'm not a big fan of government, but there's this button that says witnesses, and it scares the crap out of me. I don't even want to press it. I don't want to witness anything.
Well, who knows about witnesses? I don't know too much about them.
I didn't see a thing.
I'm looking at the rich list here. I find my own name. I'm the number 265 on the list. Woohoo!
Wow, that's impressive.
So this was 500 here. I'm like in the middle. I'm not Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, but I'll be invited to their parties, I'm pretty sure.
So do you suggest using the Steam white paper as documentation for new users? I mean, if I wanted to publicize Steam, and this is what I do, if I did it, I mean, how would people learn how to use it? I mean, it's not very user friendly. Is it?
I mean, from the start, right now you can't register a new account, obviously, because it is July the 20th, and they are fixing a few things that have gone wrong before, and they invented some new security measures, and they make sure that everything is fixed before they let new users in. Basically, it is as easy as starting with logging in with your Facebook account or your Reddit account or your email address. The only thing you need to do is make sure that your master password is a very, very big, nasty, 32 character long password that is generated, because there's one involved here. You might be writing articles that people really like, and they will upvote you, and you make thousands of dollars, and your account over time can be worth a lot of money, especially to hackers who wants to have easy money without really working for them. So don't make a password that is easy to remember, and make sure that your own security is top notch. Maybe start with a computer that is clean.
If I forget my password, do I use this recover account thing?
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting technology. They have implemented this, basically a kind of a two-factor authentication or decentralized account recovery system that uses the blockchain. So when you create your account, you point to a trusted account that a third-party account that you trust. It could be yourself, or it could be a friend, or default it's pointing to the Steemit.com people, the team behind. And so if you lose your key, and so it means that two people have the same key to your account, then you basically invoke your trusted third party to decide who is the real owner. And that's the process you go through, and then you can recover your account.
Yeah, I see it's step one. I guess you got to get past step one to get to step two.
Well, I don't know what you mean. Can you explain?
Oh, when you get in there, when you click on account recovery, it says recover account step one. It says account name, recent password. Recent password meaning the one you're using, I'm guessing, or a password you had and you changed. Can you even change your password if you wanted to?
Sure, you can change your keys.
So when it says recent, quote unquote recent, is that the one you're using now? The most recent?
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't really used the account recovery system, but the recent would be the latest one, but there's always the initial key, and I think probably that's the one they're going to use to recover the account.
And do I find that in permissions? Is that what permissions is all about?
Well, they're changing the interface right now, so I can't really speak to the details about the interface now because I haven't really looked into it.
It says buy Steam Power. Where does it buy from?
Well, there is actually an internal exchange in Steam. Or actually, the Steam Power is some kind of conversion process where you simply just take your Steam and just convert it to Steam Power, and it's instant. You're basically just locking it up. So one Steam Power is the same as one Steam, but it's locked when it's in Steam Power. So that's the difference, and that's actually quite a powerful idea, because when you remove a lot of Steam from the market by locking it up 2 years, you're basically increasing the value by removing the supply. So the demand and the value of the overall system goes up. So that's a really interesting dynamic when you think about it.
It's often the same dynamic a new company is using for shareholders. They sell them shares that they can't sell to the market until so long time has passed.
Yeah, my old company did that also. They have like a buying program. They give you like 15% off, but you can't do anything with it. But you get to buy their shares for 15% off. When I go in here and I click on buy Steam, so you could buy Steam Power directly, or you could buy Steam directly, right, through this button. Where does it buy it from those?
Oh, there is an exchange. I don't remember the exact name, but it's almost like Shapeshift, if you know that exchange. It basically just takes your Bitcoin and converts it into Steam and sends it to your account. Someone is behind that exchange, probably the team behind the site. But it could be anyone who sent you the Steam, actually.
There is a lot of good things to learn about Steam and Steemit and Steam dollars, and we see a lot of people rushing in and talking about Steemit every day. It's absolutely a phenomenal thing. We should round off this interview here on Stakepool Radio now. We have some last question here. What is the point of Steam-backed dollars? Saint Nuke wants to know.
Oh, well, that's interesting. When you create an article, you're rewarded in 50% Steam-backed dollars and 50% Steam Power. So many people or new people to the system, they would want something that's stable, and Steam-backed dollars is a stable cryptocurrency. So it basically tracks the US dollars, the value of US dollars, and internally in the system you can always convert a Steam-backed dollars to $1 worth of Steam at the market price, and that conversion takes a week, and then you get the Steam. But you can also transfer the Steam-backed dollars out to exchanges and trade it for Bitcoin. So it gives the opportunity for people to hold a stable currency and not be subject to the swings of Steam. And that's basically the reason why.
It pays the content creators in dollars. So when your article is made $250, you get and you pay that in Steam dollars. You can sell those and you get $250 worth of Bitcoin when you sell them on Bittrex, for example.
So I've got some Steam-backed dollars. I would have to convert them to Steam and then power down to get them into Steam Power. And what's the conversion of Steam to Steam Power?
Well, can you ask that again?
So if I'm on...
From Steam to Steam Power is 1-to-1. So if you put in 100 Steam into Steam Power, you get 100 more Steam Power.
How do you calculate your the effect of your Steam Power? Like if you wanted to know how much your upvote is worth?
Well, the simplest way is to upvote.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you upvote, you have about 20 votes a day. And if you use more than that, your Steam Power is basically going to go down a lot. So you're not going to have much you're not going to have much power left.
Your voting power, not your Steam Power. Nobody's counting.
Yeah, just the voting power.
You start with a fresh, then you have 100% voting power, and for every vote you cast throughout the 24 hours, your vote is less and less and less relevant, so that it avoids spamming, because then you could just vote on absolutely everything and make money. There's no point in that.
So what would be a good number? What would be a good number on a daily basis? Like how many upvotes?
I'm looking at the numbers right now. Well, ideally you should upvote every time you see quality comments and quality stories. That's the purpose of it. But if you want to game it, on the 21st minute of the article is when you can start to gamble that it's gonna be a good, well-received article by the community and cast your vote there and hope that goes to the front page, because that's when you make more money. I'm looking at Bittrex right now. One Steam-backed dollar on the free market is worth $1.32. The Steam-backed dollar, of course, is backed up by dollar, so there is people with money behind that is guaranteeing that they will buy in that area of around $1, making sure that it is a stable currency, so that content creators are not being screwed over by people that are dumping and destroying the market, So. And it miraculously works very well. The Steam-backed dollars is being received by more than just the backers, so it's becoming a popular cryptocurrency or a currency for all things internet.
Yeah, and I saw a team that was working on a mobile wallet for Steam-backed dollars, and I think also Steam, but then you can basically use it in everyday stores to pay for whatever. That's the potential of the entire system to become a mainstream payment currency.
It looks promising so far. Well, we have to run off this recording here. Thank you for listening to Stakepool Radio. Come and visit us at stakepool.com anytime, 24/7, every day, all year. We are online watching the markets, all the markets, and we're making money every day and making decisions and looking at things critically or positively when they deserve it. So please come and join us on Stakepool and you'll find good people around here.